Hey everybody, and welcome to our week. What is this? Week 9, week 10? I'm so confused. Week 9-ish, 10-ish. It's because they do 2 weeks in one. I never know where we are anymore. Of The Bachelor, I'm here as always with Mikey Rich. You can follow me on Twitter at dgoodyear1975. And if you want to thumbs up this video and subscribe to us on YouTube, that would be fantastic. And tweet us your questions or comments, hashtag YRLive, and we'll be sure to get to them. And what's going on with you, Mike?
Nothing much. You can find me on Twitter at MikeyRich1122 and Instagram, and my blogs, yourrealityrecaps.com/Bravo.
Awesome. All right. Fantasy Suite Dates. The week
They finally left the country.
they finally left the freaking country, and they went to the hottest place on the planet.
Bali's supposed to be really beautiful, though.
It's beautiful, but it's hot. I don't know. I don't want to go somewhere where I'm gonna sweat all day. And
That's why their hair was in buns all the time.
yeah, except for Caitlyn. Caitlyn let it go down, and she looked kind of cute. But they're in Bali. They're Fantasy Suite Dates. This is the week we've all been waiting for to see what happens with everybody in the fantasy suites. So they're fresh off their little hometowns, and Caitlyn got the last hometown, and she got the first one-on-one in Bali.
Oh,
So do you
that they
think,
showed. I'm sure that's not necessarily the order they went in.
I think it might be because he keeps saying like I just did this last
That's true.
so I think it goes in order. And from what I hear, the girls never travel together. So
When they're this far.
yeah, like after they separate for hometowns, the girls don't ever see each other until the rose ceremony.
Oh, that'd be
They don't,
weird.
yeah, they don't travel together. They don't do anything together after hometown. So Caitlyn is up, and I don't know why they do this. Why they send them to like a temple that they can't kiss in? Like that started like Ashley's season,
Because we actually need to see them talk.
but they're not talking in this temple. Like they're with the locals. They're like balancing crap on their heads. And,
Attacked by monkeys.
yeah, well that's out in town where they can touch and whatever. But I don't
Each
know.
date kind of showed something different, so.
Yeah, and he goes in each date he kind of has a concern. Like his concern with Caitlyn is that she always has this guard up, so he's trying to bring down her guard. And do you think it happens? Do you think she lets it down enough to?
I think she did.
Yeah, I like this date. Like I like the monkeys. Chris got peed on, which was kind of funny. And
I know my friend got peed on the monkey in Mexico. I mean, I think they pee very quickly.
does that stink?
I don't think it did. We were also by a pool, so I mean, she didn't have the show on very long.
Yeah.
But no, I think Caitlyn did what she had to do this stage for her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He had to have them at least pretty well ranked after home visits.
Yeah, I think so. I think he had them in a. I think I know who his number one is, and I think like number 2 and 3 kind of flip depending on the date and what happens on the date. But I don't know. I love Caitlyn, and I don't know. I'm so sad.
Everything I see online, I think she needs to be the Bachelorette for sure because
I think she's
she
gonna
is
be.
definitely turning into the fan favorite.
I think she's gonna be. I saw a spoiler saying that she is. I mean, they can't use Jade. There's no way in hell that ABC is gonna touch that. As
And Britt would just. I know a lot of people love her. I just don't think she was that genuine.
yeah, she's. Her
I
and
think
Carly.
she
Her
was
and
there
Carly
for a
have like
show.
a lot of lovers, and they have a lot of haters. So
My guesses would be Caitlyn, Carly, and then it would be Whitney or Becca. But I don't think Becca would be a very good Bachelorette.
no, I think she'd be really boring. And I think they don't normally ever use the second runner-up because they have to. They normally announce it,
Before the finale.
yeah, or they announce it at the finale, and it's a little weird to have them like
They
sitting
should
on the
always
couches.
announce it at the girls tell all or the guys tell all, and then just bring the one person down that's gonna be it, and sit them on the couch in front of all the other people, and be like, and this is your next bachelor or bachelorette, right in front of all the bitches
Yeah.
that couldn't get it.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, so
Healthy
it's just
cackler.
the one thing that got me like on Caitlyn's date, like when they're having their like romantic dinner and he actually says, I'm falling in love with you. And like I think I had to pick my jaw up off the floor. I'm like, what did you just say to her?
Does that happen often? I mean, I haven't
That
seen
never
that many
happens.
seasons. I mean,
That
I thought they
never
were allowed to say
happens.
that.
They're not supposed to.
But
They're
then he
not.
tells all of them. Maybe he's like, I'm feeling it, but I have to tell them all. And they're like, yeah, you can't tell one, you gotta tell them all. So then he was like, okay, I'm in love with
But
all
you
of
tell
you.
them all, and like this guy's gonna be crucified. At like if I was Caitlyn and you told me that you were falling in love with me, and then you sent me home 3 days later, I would crucify you
With
on the woman to
no
the wall.
answer why.
Yeah, like with no valid explanation. Like I he started a slippery slope here by saying that to her, and I'm like, you can't, like, I know like one of the main problems with the people on like the opposite, like who aren't the Bachelor, like on the opposite end of it, is that they don't get any feedback back from
Yeah.
the person because they're not supposed to say. And I don't know if he thought, well, maybe I can say it now because the girls are never going to see each other. Like, what, they're going to see each other for like 10 minutes before a rose ceremony starts, and then because they're not together anymore, so maybe I can start
Maybe.
saying it. But the only
Yeah,
time
but then you just set up a problem with what happened with Caitlyn at the end. It's like,
yeah, the only time I ever heard it said was when Brad said it to Emily one day on one date. He told her, he didn't even say that he was falling in love with her. He told her that she was safe at the rose ceremony.
ah,
And that was weird. Like, that was a little weird. So they go to their fantasy suite. Now, what do you think happened?
boom, boom.
Like, obviously. What did you think of the tub?
Huh?
The tub with the roses.
It was cute. All the rooms I thought were really cute too that they put them up in.
Yeah, yeah, I like
I think it
the.
would have been. I think it would have been much more hilarious though and shady on the show. They just each time they opened up the door to the room, it was the same room that each
Yeah, I
girl went
know.
into.
That'd be so bad. Someone
It's
actually
like,
asked Chris Harrison that on Twitter. Like, do you guys use the same room? And he said
just
no.
change the blankets.
Yeah, just change the sheets between.
Nah, it's probably each of the girls' rooms for each night they're there, and he just stays in each one of their rooms for each night
Or it's
he's
probably
there.
this. They're all in separate hotels, I bet you. So it's probably like the suite in
Yeah,
that hotel.
but it's probably the one the girl stays at the whole time. It's just
No, because
Chris goes there.
they look completely surprised at how the room looks. So
Hmm.
like I don't think they're
Well,
putting
maybe
the
it's the
girls
first night
up.
they go in there.
I don't think they're putting the girls up in suites. I think they're putting them up in regular rooms
Uh,
and then renting a suite in each hotel that they're in. So yeah, and she tells him she's falling in love with him, and he tells her the same thing. And it's like this is just gonna be bad all around, all
I
around.
yeah, I like Caitlyn. I think she's really funny. I've said it the whole time. I just don't see her in Iowa. And that's what it's got to really come down to with the final two. And that was probably what shot her in the foot is I can see her really having genuine feelings for him and him having genuine feelings for her. But of the three girls, she is just the least, to me, I can see actually being happy there.
Oh no, she said she was willing to go, and she seemed to be the
Yeah.
one with the least amount of concern about it. Like,
Yeah, but to me, that's saying and doing is two different things. Her personality is too big for Arlington.
oh, be right back.
You know what I
I
mean?
think
Like,
so,
it's not
yeah.
that the other two don't have big personalities. She's just, I don't know, she's just the most fun. I just think she would get so bored.
I think they're all gonna get bored. I'd be bored out of my tree there, but I think with her, what her problem is, I think they're more friend zone
Yeah.
than like they have so much fun together, and she's so like I think she kind of put herself into friend zone really early in the process,
Yeah.
and just by the time the feelings developed, could never get herself completely out of that. But I don't know, my heart breaks for Caitlyn. I love her, and she's represented Canada very well. I have to say, I love my Canadian girl. But now we go on to Whitney. Now, do you think these dates have any kind of tell as to who he's favoriting?
Why? Because Caitlyn went and had monkeys jump around on them, and then Whitney got to go on a boat.
Yeah,
uh, maybe.
like so they go
They
on the
just they
boat.
look very relaxed together.
They do. They're like these guys kind of went into this date. He's got concerns. She's got a couple of concerns. So these two actually have like stuff to talk about. So Chris's concerns with her are after he sees her in her element, is she going to want to give all that up? Which is what I was saying last week, to move to Arlington. And her concern is that because her sister was so bitchy, did that affect how he felt about her? So she just goes right in. Like she's like, okay, we're gonna talk about this right now, and gets it out of the way, and he says it's all fine.
That's what I like about her though with him, because he's just sometimes he's like a loss for words, where I feel like she knows exactly what to say, even on a whim of a spot.
Yeah.
So I think they're very well balanced. But I do agree with what she said was the truth and how she really felt. I think it could have been any guy, and not necessarily Chris, that could have caused this to happen for her, that would make her quit her job, move, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's, if that's really what her mindset is, to really want a husband and want kids and work is work, whatever. Like her mother told her, always have a backup plan. So, I mean, if anything ever went wrong, she's always got a career there.
Yeah, but that's a career that if you like take like a 10-year sabbatical from nursing to raise your kids, it's a little hard to get back into that because
You
so
never
much
know. She
changes.
might
Like,
go there, and like I said, she can always find a hospital working and only work part-time and not be a full-time one and commute
no, I just
every
have
once in a while.
when you're so passionate about something and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna give it all up. Like that doesn't seem right, like normal to me. Like
But
she's,
if your man says you don't gotta work and just make me babies, then you're gonna do that.
you know what? My hats are off to all the stay-at-home mothers because I could never do it. I need to get out of my house and have like real conversation with adult people. Like it is hard. Like the year that I was off with my kids, like after I had them, was
Going
like
crazy.
it was. I was going stir crazy. It's hard to live that life. Like it's difficult. So I mean if that's what she wants, go so be it. But why did you spend so much money on education?
Backup plan. She's got a
Yeah, but you
job.
can have
What
a
if she
backup plan
But
that
what if she met her dream man in LA? And then she didn't have to, go she could still work. I mean, where his job and lives could have been anywhere.
I know. And like she was very honest with him too. Like when he said so like, he kind of laid it out on the line. Like Arlington is small. Like it's like
Yeah,
two
I
hours
forgot
to
she
Des
was the only
Moines.
one that didn't see it.
Yeah, because she was on a date with him when they all went on the
Yeah,
road
I
trip,
forgot
right?
about that until she said it.
So
Oh,
yeah, so like he's like it's like 500 people. Like I thought it was only 400 people. Like it's grown like a population of 100 over like a couple of weeks. But like anywhere you gotta go, you gotta drive. Like Des Moines is 2 hours away. Chicago is like 3.5 to 4. Like if you want to continue working, and I fully support that, like it's gonna be a drive. Like to go to the movies is gonna be a drive. I sit in my house all day. Like he kind of laid it out, and she's like, well, if I was gonna look at a map of the USA and say I want to live here, Arlington would not be my first choice, but because I love you, I'll follow you.
and I think she will.
I think she will too. I just don't know if she's going to be happy. And background on this date, apparently they were supposed to like drive sail to a beach, but the weather was so bad that
That
they
is
could,
sad about.
yeah, that they
With that
couldn't, like,
creepy driver just staring
yeah.
at him.
But, like, and even, like, when they went into the water, like, I read Chris Harrison's blog, like, they, like, jumped into the water, and the current basically smashed them back to the boat, like, right away.
So it was like one great shot, and they're like, "Get out of the water! Get out of the
Yeah,
water!
and then
Get on
even
the
to get out
boat!"
of the water, like, the ladder was, like, bouncing up and down so bad that they could barely get out of the water, like,
That would have been scary.
yeah, like, it doesn't look as bad, like, on TV, but apparently, like, that water was really bad. Like, the crew were getting sick on the boat, like, so they made the best of this good situation. And, of course, they go to the fantasy suite. It's a different fantasy suite. And it's always, this is my problem with the fantasy suite dates. It's like, bam, bam, bam. Like, this is like a 3-day process, so he fantasy suites with Caitlyn, so you know that they're doing something. Then the next day, he fantasy suites with Whitney. And
Hey,
if
you do
you're that
not
third
go and buy
girl,
a car. You do not go and buy a car without test driving it.
but when you're the third girl, like,
I'm sure he showers between each trip.
it's not the showering I'm worried about. Like it's just, thank God Becca's like, no, I'm waiting till marriage, because that horse is a lot of miles in 3 days. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's just really creepy. I don't think I could sit there and go, well, you were just with someone else last night.
He probably was like, "Oh, she didn't do it. We just did other things."
Like, you rolled out of bed from her and came on our date.
They know that's the rules.
Like,
That's the time. You gotta show your best tricks then. You gotta put all your tables. You gotta put all your cards on that table right then and there.
and you think by the third
You
night
gotta
he'd be
outdo
tired.
that girl that had him the night before.
You would think by that third night too he'd be tired. Like, he was probably like, thank God.
Yeah,
You're
right.
over
He
it.
was like, "Oh shit."
I would be exhausted. Like, these are like not like these are like all day dates. I would be exhausted just
Yeah.
by the end of the one day, never mind having to redo that.
Well, they probably just went and cuddled and watched TV.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did. That's why they had to close
Whitney
the
looked
curtains.
great. Whitney looked so nice in that dress. That was a pretty color on her.
Yeah, they all did. That dress that Caitlyn wore too to her dinner
Hmm.
was so pretty. Like, I don't know who's styling them, but
Somebody be.
somebody be styling them. So yeah, that was the Whitney one-on-one, and then we go into Becca, and it's again just like a walk around. He takes her to like a farming community. He's like, I'm like, really? Come on, like, can we get off the farm for like 5 minutes?
Too hard to.
It's like all he's commenting on is like how they do their agriculture, and I'm just like, this is just too much. But in his concern with, sorry, excuse me, so sick again. His concern with Becca is that she's never been in love, and he doesn't know if she can fall in love with him, which
Yeah.
I think is a pretty big concern. Because how do you date someone for 4 years and not love them?
I know. Like, I just.
Like,
I really want to believe her, and I don't know. I just don't get how you can be in a relationship with someone for 4.5 years. And not only is it just that person, I mean, anybody she's ever dated. That's not can be the only person she dated. But yet then she's on this show with Chris, and it's like 8 weeks, 9 weeks, and you've maybe spent a day or two worth of time with him.
yeah, like if you add up all
Like
the
in that
hours,
whole month. I mean, if you break it up into how long these girls are actually with this guy, I mean, it is gonna be maybe a week or two worth of time.
yeah,
I mean, granted, there are always elements to make them fall in love. I mean, you don't just normally go on helicopter rides and boat rides.
but she didn't even get like those kind of dates though. Like, what, she went horseback riding.
Becca,
She spent a day
yeah,
in the loft with him. Like, she didn't get any of these fancy schmancy dates. Like, I think she was on all the group dates, but she didn't get like the
she
romantic
had.
Cinderella date or anything. Like, she
What was
got,
the one in Iowa? Didn't she have a one in Iowa though?
yeah, that was at the loft.
Oh, that's right.
Went to his loft.
He likes to walk around with Becca.
Yeah.
Becca
He didn't
gets
even
to
walk around with her. He
dates.
just took her to a house. Just took her home. Sat with her on the couch.
Good date.
So, good job, Chris. Like, this is what we're gonna do. But in Arlington, just sit here, talk, look at each other, and if we're not married, not have sex. So, like, what else is there to do in Arlington? So yeah, they
Party.
walk around. They kind of party in Arlington. What are they gonna do? Party in the cornfields? But they play with the local kids, and then they go to this village medium. I'm like, what? Like,
That guy was weird.
he was like, you're a very good couple. You're gonna be good parents.
It seemed very robotic what he was saying. It's like,
Yeah,
I tell these to every white person that walks up and falls for our trick.
and then like go make the love, make the love. I'm like, are you not in a friggin' religious like?
That's why there's so many people over there.
Like it's just so it was so weird to me. I don't know. It was just this medium guy was weird, and like I don't know. It just seemed really contrived, and I'm like, are they gonna bring the love guru back? Could you imagine Becca on the love guru date?
Oh, that was weird. She would have been like, I'm a virgin, don't touch me.
Yeah, no, don't touch me there. Don't touch me there.
And then we get to their dinner date.
Then we get to the dinner date, and she still hasn't told him.
But I don't understand. She has all this time. It's like, why was it? I don't understand why some things these girls thought was like Jade. Like, I wait until the cocktail party to tell him I pose in Playboy, and then I'm waiting until I get the card to go to the room with him to tell him I'm a virgin. Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand some of the logic of like.
Like first it was gonna be I'll wait till the card, and then the card comes and she doesn't tell him. And she's like, I'm gonna wait till
They
the
go to the room.
room.
I'm like,
You do wait till he starts taking your clothes off and go, oh wait. Like it's just so bizarre to me, and it's
maybe
like
you know what though? Maybe she didn't tell him until they got to the room because she didn't want him to think, oh, but you can't stay in the room with me because I'm a virgin. You know what I mean? Because he could have done that. He could have been like, when she told him I'm a virgin, he could have not given her the card because he didn't want to like make her feel pressured.
yeah, but once you open the card and go, okay, I want to go, but here's the deal.
Maybe she just really wanted to secure him in the room for
But
the
once
night.
you get him in the room, he can still say, I don't feel comfortable with you here. Like he can still turf her out at any moment. Like it's not like once you're in the
Yeah,
room,
but
you're
he
like in
wouldn't.
there.
But he wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't do that. But yeah, so she goes, she tells him, he's like, I respect that. Like, cause what's he gonna say?
Oh, I love the gulp sound effect they added.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, granted, I think the deep breath was not added in. Like, I don't know what's with that guy in deep breaths, but man, girl just tells you a virgin, and you're like,
Well, he was probably like, I don't know if that was a deep breath, like, oh my god, or a thank God that's all it was. Like after Jade's revelation.
I'm just like, God, can I have one girl on this show that doesn't have a secret? I think Caitlyn was the only one left for a while that didn't have a secret, for heaven's sake.
And it's like, just thank God it was this and not like something awful. Like, could you imagine?
She's like, by the way,
I did porn too.
I was the girl in the porno with Jade.
Yeah, like I don't know if that was a sigh of relief or a sigh of, oh my friggin' God, not now, like, or a mixture of both. But he's like, I respect that, because what's he gonna say? Is he gonna look like a douche on national TV and go,
Get out.
get out? Yeah, like this is a deal breaker. Like if you're not gonna sleep with me, we're done. Like no one is gonna say that. Maybe Juan Pablo would say that, but nobody else is gonna say that. Like, and he's like, I still want, like, he likes her for someone who got so little screen time up until like the final 6.
Like I said, I don't think she could be honestly hilarious, nice, amazing girl, but she was not on camera fighting with these other girls. I mean, what you had like 8 people, and it's like, you know. Could you hear that?
No, what?
Oh, never mind. My computer was playing a commercial.
Oh.
And I was like talking about Jeep Cherokees in my ear. I'm like, wait, what? It took me a second to realize my other window was playing a commercial. Okay, sorry.
Oh my God.
But I just think when you break down who was left, you had like Jade, Whitney, Caitlyn. Caitlyn and Whitney were stealing a lot of screen time. But then you had like Ashley, Kelsey, they were drama up the ass. I mean, Carly and Britt, they were drama up the ass. I mean, there was so many girls that were overshadowing her, I think, that her and Jade really slipped through most of the season.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Like, because I mean, Caitlyn had like the funny on her side. She wasn't dramatic.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like Caitlyn and Whitney weren't dramatic, but they were stealing camera.
But Whitney wasn't really that funny either. Like, Whitney was kind of like the voice of reason.
She was just the friend to everybody.
Yeah, like, she seemed to be the voice of reason, like, the one that everybody loves or whatever. But her bitchy side came out during the rose ceremony. Like,
I actually saw another YouTube channel talk about it, and then I watched it again when I got home, and it's true. You can hear the voice change. Listen to it again. You can hear in the sentence, that is 2 sentences.
really?
Listen to it again. You can kind of hear the tone change. And she's not on camera saying it, because I do not see her saying that about Becca. I think that was about, and then they're not even that far in age. She probably said that about Ashley I. And then they cropped it with something that started with Becca said. She said something about Becca first, and cropped them together. I don't know. I just think it was very fishy. Because she's never said anything like that this whole time. And then all of a sudden she's going to say Becca was too young and immature.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so.
Really weird. So, like, oh, hello. Sorry.
And you think if that didn't happen, there was really no tension besides Caitlyn saying that Becca was going home the whole time.
Yeah, I just think it was, because it was really weird. Like going back even like to Becca's one-on-one, like they seemed really great in the hotel, and then like they wake up the next morning and Chris is like freaking out, and Becca's looking sad, and it's like, I don't know what they talked about in the morning that hadn't been talked about.
Something got said, or something wasn't completely answered, like that made Chris really worry.
Like, I think it was something about how she probably said that she wasn't going to move to Arlington the minute.
Because it was something about Arlington. He was all worried about it, that she didn't sound like she would move.
Yeah. Like, I have a feeling that she said, like, that she told him, like, because, like, normally, like, once, like, they're, like, they come out of hiding, like, they kind of move in or go to the same city or whatever, and I think she kind of said, I'm not moving to Arlington until I'm sure, like...
Yeah, like, after
really,
this is done, I'm not coming.
Well, because, I mean, like, really, look at the track record of this. Like, are you really going to uproot? Like, I would be like, you know what, I'm going to give it a couple months. We're going to have this relationship in the public eye, and we're going to travel. I'll go there. You'll come here. Like, whatever. I'm sure this show will pay for them to, like, maintain their relationship for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What's so funny?
My headphone piece, I have one in, you know, and the other one was dangling. And out of nowhere, my cat ran across the room and hit it. And it, like, hit me in the leg and scared crap out of me.
Like, what's going on over there? So, yeah, so he's like, I don't know what's going on, and you know it's serious when, like, Chris Harrison pops out of the woodwork and is like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
And, like, he has to kind of talk him down, and he, like, is kind of going through his bullet points with the girls. Like, he knows, like, Whitney's kind of like a sure thing. He's like, I'm falling in love with her, but I'm not really there yet. Like, even he's not really, like, in love with anybody yet.
I think he was really torn. I think his feelings are just so strong for all three that he's having a hard time.
Yeah. And, like, he can see a great great life with Caitlyn, and even, like, with Becca, he's like, she's not there yet, but I think it's a matter of time, and I want to be patient and stuff like that. So I don't know what she said to spook him, but it's just so weird. And then they go into the rose ceremony where they're all dressed up, and, like, again, in another temple where, like, they're not allowed to touch. Like, all they can do is hold hands. And
yeah, it's so bizarre.
Yeah, because, like, he gives them a rose, and they're just really like, thank you.
It's like, thanks, bye.
Yeah, bye. But he pulls Becca aside, like,
instantly.
instantly, and the other two girls were like, oh yeah, like
Yeah, she's out.
yeah, she's gone.
He's
See
such
you
a nice guy.
later.
He always takes them away before they leave.
Yeah, like they were like really sure that she wasn't gonna come back, and I think depending on how that conversation had gone between the two of them, there was a chance that she didn't come back.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of so funny about how they're so confident. Like I love like when they do like the confessionals and they're so confident, and then they just kind of like proves them wrong.
And then Caitlyn just like, I should be sad, but I'm not.
Yeah, she kind of went Carly-ish, and so the
Yeah.
but like I couldn't even get what happened between the two of them in their conversation. Like it didn't make any sense to me. Like maybe it's my sick head. I don't know. Like favoriting. What are you on Twitter for?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't know, like, and then you think about the preview for next week. Becca looks like she kind of is still so up in the air about everything. It just, I don't know. Part of me wonders if you made the mistake of keeping Becca.
Yeah, I don't know what's going. I don't know what's going on with that. Like whatever that happened, whatever she said. Like I don't know, she made it right, so he brings her back, and the other girls were like, what? And that's when like we get the bitchy Whitney come out, and it's like, well, if she likes her, then I'm not the girl for her. Like that, like it just seems so out of left field.
So I'm saying that has got to have been about Kelsey or Ashley I. Like, there's just no way she would say that about Becca. Like, no. I don't believe it.
Like it's just so weird because
They had to, because if you think about it, on camera, they have Caitlyn standing there saying, oh, she's going. She's gone. Bye. I should feel bad, but I don't. Like, because, I want to be here, and I'm glad she's going, and laughing and having a good time. And then Whitney probably didn't say anything like that, so they were like, oh, we'll just voice over shit she said about Kelsey, because
yeah,
we don't have her on cameras doing, because you don't want to make Caitlyn look bad.
yeah,
Because if they really did want to keep Caitlyn, they didn't want to have Caitlyn leave looking like she was happy Becca was leaving,
yeah. Like it was just a weird personality turn for Whitney. Like if that was really what Whitney said, that was a strange.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. She never really gave any inkling to ever act like that, to all of a sudden now would do it. It was just weird.
Yeah, that was like a total 180 on a Whitney thing. So like Whitney got the first rose. Now this is the third rose ceremony in a row that Whitney's gotten the first rose.
Because I think she's number one.
I think so too.
And she was my pick from the beginning.
Oh, shut up. So now it's just like who's he gonna pick? Is he gonna pick Caitlyn or is he gonna pick Becca?
Okay, so if you were Whitney or Caitlyn and he walked back in with Becca, would you just assume one of you's going? Would you assume you had
I
a chance at that point?
If he brought her back in, I'd be like, okay, she's getting a rose.
So then that's what I thought instantly. The second it was Becca and Caitlyn, I was like, bye, Caitlyn.
Yeah, like the minute he called Whitney's name, and you could see Caitlyn's face too. Like if you look at because it was kind of a wide shot, but like if you look at Caitlyn,
shit.
Yeah, she knew. Like the minute Becca walked back in the door, she wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like it would have been better for them to have just given Becca the first rose and have the tension go between Whitney and Caitlyn, because like they drug out the Becca Caitlyn decision, but everybody knew.
It would have been more dramatic than it was between Whitney and Caitlyn.
Yeah, like everybody knew that once Whitney got the rose, that Becca was getting the second one and Caitlyn was going to go home. And then it's like he walks Caitlyn out, and I just because he's told and we didn't even touch on the fact that he told Whitney that he's falling in love with her. He told Becca he's falling in love with her. So now he's told all three girls that he's falling in love with them.
Well, we talked about that in the beginning.
We talked about him saying, yeah. So he is for sure, and he even in the rose ceremony, when he was talking to Becca, he said it again to her, I'm falling in love with you. I'm falling in love with you. You're gonna be crucified. Women tell all. Caitlyn is gonna just take you
No, she won't. She just wants answers, and there was two awkward things about it. The fact that Chris couldn't explain it to her at all, and then B, the fact that their breakup, the other two girls were sitting there watching. Like,
never mind the fucking rooster. Like, how do you
I
have a
know.
serious moment with this rooster?
And
Like,
then the best thing too, I'm so mean. It's like they're talking, and she's like trying to look at him. She's holding back her tears, and he's like, "I know this is just so hard to go." And then the guy turns the car on.
yeah.
I was like, "Oh man, it's like, oh well, no, you really gotta go. The Jeep's on. I'm sorry."
Yeah, we got a timeline here. You know, we need to be at your bags are packed. They're at
It
the
was funny. Like
airport.
the rooster's going off, the car gets turned on in the middle of them talking. I'm like, this is like they're just weirding out right now.
Yeah, it's just so bizarre to me. And like, yeah, he couldn't explain himself, and I'm just like, and he's crying, and I'm like, why are you crying? Like,
He made it all about himself. When all he had to say was, pretty much like, I know one of them is my wife.
yeah,
And, like, I just didn't see us on that level as the other person. He didn't have to say both of the girls. He could have said one of them he knows is for sure. And, sorry, there's just a toss-up between the other two of you, which one goes at the end. Like,
yeah, it's bizarre. Sorry, kids here.
okay.
I just felt so bad for her because they're trying to have these moments, and like that frickin' rooster. I was just like, someone strangle the goddamn rooster. Like, come on. I couldn't deal with a stupid rooster. And then the car, and then like Caitlyn like struggling with her seatbelt in the back of the car. I'm just like, oh my god, like this poor girl. Like,
But it sucks because all she just wanted was an answer, and he never gave her one.
yeah, it's
That's
just
all she said in the car was I don't get it. Like, what happened?
she's humiliated. Like,
I mean, how would you feel? I mean, I totally understand. 'Cause, I mean, all the guys sitting there going and saying, "Oh, I love you so, I like you so much. It's so hard for me."
yeah, this is just so hard.
Like, okay,
This is the hardest decision I've ever had to make. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, what are you
Like,
crying for? Because you're going back to two other girls. Like, you look ridiculous. Like, if you're that sad about sending her home, then maybe you should send somebody else home that
Yep.
you're not so sad about. Like, it's just, and like, it's a woman tell all. Like, if I was her, I'd be like, you told me you were falling in love with me. That was what you told me.
I don't think she's
And now,
not,
and
I
the
just
thing
don't see her
is,
being
and
that much of a
now,
bitch.
because this was just taped. The woman tell all was just taped. So now she's gotten to see all of this footage of
True.
him telling other girls he's falling in love with them.
We'll see.
Like, if she's as feisty as I want her to be, she's gonna take him to task for this. And if she doesn't, ugh.
All I know is if she ends up being the next Bachelorette, she better not pull a Andy and go from being interesting to not interesting.
Yeah. And then even the one that he gets rid of in the finale, like, that is going to be a very awkward after the final rose too, because they're going to meet for the first time,
Yep.
and I can see it being like a Nick Viall situation where like, you told me you're falling in love with me, and
We'll see.
so yeah, like he just totally screwed himself. Like, he could have, I don't know. He doesn't think before he talks, I don't think. Like, he has very little to say, and I don't think when he does think of something to say, he just doesn't think it through.
Yeah. He gets too lost up in the moments, I think.
Because he's always, like, eating his lip, like I hate that, like, that when he, like, puts his head up and looks down and, like, shakes his head when they're talking, like, because he has no words, like,
Yeah.
they forgot to teach him how to talk in Arlington, Iowa. But yeah, so, and he's got these little tiny ears too. Have you noticed?
Even those ears all of a sudden.
I know. I think I was like making like a screen grab for one of my blogs, and I looked. I was like, damn, his ears are like tiny for this big head, and like it just now it's all like you have the thing with the lips and how he has no lips. That's my.
He's got little features.
He's got like these little itty bitty features on this big giant head.
Hopefully not.
Yeah,
Never mind.
So, You're so dirty.
I
You're
am.
you're so dirty.
Well, and that preview for next week, man. I don't know what the heck's Becca going through, man.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It
she's
looked interesting.
maybe she's just not ready to commit yet. Like she's only 25, so
I don't understand. Is that common that we don't see a clip from the girl or guy tell all?
no, you normally see something.
Because I thought it was weird we didn't see anything.
Yeah, you normally see a little bit. So I don't know.
All they did was show the girls past situations and who was gonna fight who.
Yeah, I
I
don't
was
know.
surprised there was
Maybe
no footage.
I'm kind of glad there wasn't any footage though, because normally when they show footage, like it gets
It's
my
the only
hopes
good
up.
thing.
And yeah, and that was like the only good thing.
Like, what if they showed the footage and it was Ashley I walking on stage and then Kelsey yanked her by her hair and then that's all they showed.
Yeah. Or like Britt and Carly going at it or something.
Yeah, Britt and Carly started
So
fighting while
much.
they're sitting in their chairs. It's my Bad Girls
So
Club
much.
wish come true on Bachelor.
What's going on? Yeah, there's so much going on, and it's just I don't know. And like now, like I don't understand why they left Bali and went back to Iowa. Like, can Chris's family not leave the farm?
No, someone's got to work.
Like, it's a dead of winter though. They're not harvesting.
I don't know. But do you think what the dad said in the preview was true? That he's in love with Whitney, but he wants Becca?
I saw an article.
This cat.
I saw an article about that too, about how Whitney was a sure thing, but he really wants Becca, and her family seemed like really. His family seemed really hard on Becca too, like because she's not sure in her decision, and so they're like, "Well, if I gave you 2 minutes, like, what would you decide?" Like, that's a little harsh.
But I mean, like, but in his case, I mean, could be his one chance really to find a wife that is willing to live in Arlington. And you're gonna fuck it up by picking Becca, and then her changing her mind after living there for a month and leaving you. I mean, 'cause that would be a good possibility. Where you have a Whitney that's willing to drop everything, she's already thought it out, like, most likely will have no problems, and if there is a problem, she'll just commute to work, like, I don't know, like, I understand that comment of the sure thing versus the question mark, because, I mean, if he really did care that much for Becca, choose her, but I mean, what's he gonna do if she leaves after a month? And he's single
I don't
again?
think she would go there right away. Like, I think that's what
I don't think she'd ever go.
I don't think that's what everyone's issue is with her, is that she's not willing to just say, "Okay, I love you. Now I'm gonna
I
drop
think
my
the
life."
girls all got tainted from that road trip of seeing it that dead. It's one thing to go to Arlington and drive through, see the stuff like Jade got with him. You gotta walk through, see some things, you know. But I mean, like, and then you eventually go back to his house. But those girls wandered, finding everything was abandoned. People are like, "Oh no, you don't stay here, you just leave." Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they got a real harsh view of it. So I mean, when you do look at it like that way with Becca and Whitney, Whitney hasn't seen it, but I mean, at least when she sees it, it's going to be through his eyes with him and going to his property. Where Becca got this like scary, murderous movie town view, where it's
Yeah,
like
like this town
tumbleweeds
that time
crossing
forgot.
the roads, and there's nobody there but nobody. Like,
Yeah, because it kind of seemed like, have you ever seen that show on I think it's a history thing. It's called Life After People, or Time After, like,
I don't think so.
it basically like it will take like it'll go either through towns, or like sometimes it takes monuments, and it'll be like 5 years after people, and I'll show like what happens to this monument
Oh,
once
okay.
people are gone. Like, it's really, really cool to watch. But like that's kind of like what that town is. Like, that town is like 2 years after people have left, and like everything
Yeah.
is like boarded up and like gone.
That's why I think that's her biggest issue is it's like, oh, she can be in love with him and live with him there, but it's like those four girls really got like a like I said, it's one thing to go see it with the person that lives there and you get to really see because he knows where to take you. I mean, like, by
He
yourself just
took
wandering
Jade. He
around.
took Jade to the closed-up grocery store.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it's just different, I think, if you would have had him there versus not there. Like,
I
could
think
you
it would have been
imagine
a little
going
more
there?
romantic to have him there, but I think
Yeah.
the whole, like, gravity of the holy shit, there's nothing here. Like, you
Yeah.
can't even freaking get a quart of milk without having to drive 30 minutes. Like,
Maybe he has cows.
yeah, I guess you just walk to the farm and, like, here you
He's got
go.
cows.
But,
Nobody's got cows and chickens for all that stuff.
oh, like, it's just brutal. But, like, an hour to a movie, and, like, like, they brought all these freaking city girls to this.
Yep.
Like, I'm surprised they didn't bring more country girls.
That they thought they had Jade. Oh, you're from a population of 1,000? This girl's the winner. Oh,
Yeah.
shit, she did porn. She ain't gonna win.
Like they didn't know. Like they didn't know that she did porn.
No. They probably just thought it wouldn't be that big a deal.
And like I told you, like I knew she would never be the Bachelorette because there's just no way. Like
Well, we'll see when it actually gets confirmed for sure.
it's not gonna be Jade. There's just no way. There's no way. And if it is Jade, I'm done. Like
Yeah, right.
I won't even repeat what I wrote to you today, but that you know my thoughts on that. Like once your body parts aren't a mystery to me, I don't need to see you anymore. Like we're good. We're done.
Yeah.
I don't. And I just think that the kind of guy that like that would draw like their vetting process would have to be super on point to keep out the creeps.
Yeah.
Because
well, they'll just tell them it's Brit, and then they'll show up and find Jade.
yeah, or say it's Carly or something like some sweet wholesome person, and then it's you get all these like single fathers. What?
My dogs.
Oh, your poor dogs.
This
But
is
yeah.
my babies.
Oh, poor things. Poor things.
So neglected.
I have to get a crate for my dog. He's out of control. Out of control.
God, I love animals. Well,
Love or hate 'em.
now we gotta just wait for Girls Tell All.
Girls Tell All, and yeah, 2 more weeks, people, and we're done. So, yeah, I'm gonna call now Whitney. That's my. Are we in
That's been
agreement
mine
here?
from the beginning.
Yeah, and I'll say Whitney. I don't think, because I think Becca had too hard of a time. I think even if he kind of wanted her, I think his family probably scared her off.
Yeah.
Because
To
his
where
mom was
she'll
like
get
vocal.
weird.
Like his parents didn't say boo when they met Andy, but they were like vocal for this. It was like really weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the
We'll
end of
see.
the road. End of the road. But like, wow, we did this in like less than an hour.
Well, there you go.
There we go, people.
On to next week.
Yeah, when there's only 3 dates, there's not much to say. But yeah, so yeah, 3 hours of Women Tell All, people. 3 hours. We'll have lots to talk about. Lots of drama to talk about next week. But until then, you can find me on Twitter at dgoodyear1975. I'm on Instagram at Dana's Reality. And you can find my Bachelor blogs at yourrealityrecaps.com/roses and my Vanderpump and Real Housewives of Atlanta blogs at yourrealityrecaps.com/bravo. And what are you doing?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at MikeyRich1122 and find my Real Housewives of Beverly Hills blogs at yourrealityrecaps/bravo.
Oh, yes, and oh my gosh, Survivor starts tomorrow. Amazing Race starts tomorrow. The week after, RuPaul's Drag Race starts tomorrow. And and Hell's Kitchen. Vince is blogging Hell's Kitchen and RuPaul's Drag Race. John is doing like a short, like 10-minute video recap, kind of like People's Couch-ish, with a friend of his on RuPaul's Drag Race. We got Melissa blogging Survivor. We got Hannah blogging Amazing Race. So there is so much coming out.
Goodness.
You know, it's crazy. It is crazy. But until next week, everybody, we will see you then.
Bye, everybody. Peace.
Peace.